password for this computer. Okay, okay, so first question. First of all, hi everyone. We're here together with Antonio, who is Emily's partner. And Antonio, why don't you tell us a bit about yourself?
Hi, my name is Antonio. I'm from Penrith, Australia, Penrith, New South Wales, Australia. I'm 24, studying a secondary high school teaching course. And yeah, I don't know what else.
Okay, so when did Emily start reading Midnight Poppyland? And on a scale of 1 to 10, how obsessed would you say she is?
Maybe 3 or 4 months ago. Not too sure. I'd say she's very obsessed. As the new episodes drop, she's there reading them. I think it was she found out that she could access like webtoons from her phone, and she was like, oh, look at all these things that I can read. And she found Midnight Poppyland, and she was like, okay. And now she's up to date with it, and every week she's like, how can they do this to me?
So yeah, so how does Emily read Midnight Poppyland? Like, does she have like a ritual? Does she go aside? Does she like tune out the world?
She disappears for a little bit. She'll just be like, she'll just get up and go into the room, like into our bedroom, and she'll just disappear. And then she'll come back and she'll go, no, that's not okay. They can't do that to me.
So do you read Midnight Poppyland? Has Emily made you read Midnight Poppyland?
I don't. She's shown me bits and pieces of it. But no, I have not read it myself.
Okay, so does she discuss it with you? Like,
bits and pieces, bits that she thinks reminds her of us, but yeah.
Okay. And here's a question. Are you jealous of Tora?
I wish I could be that tall if Tora is the character that I'm thinking of.
Yeah.
Because I'm like 5'0", and I wish I could be as tall. I've got the dark. I'm quite dark skinned, and but yeah, my height's always been one of my least favorite features. So as soon as I saw Tora, I was like, damn, he's tall.
So it's funny. My husband's actually 6'4", so he's 1 inch taller than Tora. But Tora is like, actually works out. My husband does not. So that's kind of a little bit where the resemblance ends. And my husband's blonde and Dutch, so like totally not the same facial features. But he's cute. It's okay. I'm fine. Okay, so here's another question. Do you know what the $5 Patreon tier is?
No.
Okay. Does Emily ever talk about Patreon? I'm not sure if she is a patron or not.
No, she's not mentioned it.
Okay. You probably would mention it if, you know. Anyway, so I'll just tell you that so Lily has 2 Patreon tiers. Well, I guess technically 3, but she has a $1 Patreon tier. And then in the $5 Patreon tier, she puts in a lot of, besides for like other content that she does not safe for work art, basically featuring Tora and Poppy.
I had a feeling.
Yeah, so a lot of people like that, and especially a lot of partners have reaped the benefits of that not safe for work art.
I can understand why.
Yeah, it's fantastic. I love it. My husband loves it too. It's great. He doesn't really actually like look at it like I do, but like I said, he reaps the benefits. Okay, so I'm going to show you some pictures now. Not the not safe for work pictures. and let's see how much you can identify. And sometimes even if you don't know who they are, you might be able to, let's see if you can guess like what kind of character they are based on like their appearance or the context. Because I think some people have managed to be pretty successful with that despite not having knowledge. Okay, so I'm going to share my screen. Okay, so first question, and it's a bit of a
cute as
author. What?
That's cute as.
Sorry, cute as. I didn't hear that.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, that's cute. Really cute.
Yeah. So it's actually not a character. I'll give you a hint that much.
Is that like the author's like logo?
Yep, that's Lily Dusk's comic representation. Okay,
has
now we're
something
getting
similar
into the
on her
characters.
Twitch
Well,
stream.
it goes from easier to more obscure. The last one, there's like 21 of them. The last one will be like extremely obscure, but we'll see how much you know.
So I'm assuming that this is like the main female protagonist of the story.
Yep. Do you know her name?
No. Is it
so I'll give you a
Poppy?
hint. Her name is in the title.
Is it Poppy?
Yep, that's right. It's
Okay.
Poppy. So what can you tell us about Poppy? What do you know about her?
Not a lot other than she's, I feel like she's quite, what's the word I'm looking for? Is it that like she knows that the life that she's kind of pursuing is a dangerous one, but she does it anyway because it's what she wants?
Interesting. I guess to an extent, because Tora has kind of like danced around what he does. He tells her he's in a dangerous organization eventually, but she's not quite sure what and how. So she is a little hesitant to not be around him. She trusts him as a person, but she understands why he initially doesn't want to get into a relationship with her. So, but she's still drawn to him. And then recently Tora has told her directly that he's in the mafia. They haven't had a chance to discuss it yet though.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it's definitely,
she likes this tall, dark, mysterious man.
yeah. And speaking of which, here's the tall, dark, mysterious man. So what can you tell me about, well, you know his name. So I think you mentioned
Tora.
it before.
Yakuza member.
Yeah.
Yep. The tattoos, very, very sexy.
Yeah.
No, he's got that demeanor of just tall, dark, mysterious, threatening, maybe imposing. And so a lot of people wouldn't know how to really like take him from first glance.
Any more things
the
about like his personality?
I'm assuming he's a sweetheart.
What makes you assume that?
Well, I think it was the way he was kind of like from the previous picture was booping her nose.
Oh, that's so cute. I didn't. That's cute that you realized that was him. But yeah. Oh, that's. Like
It'd be very weird for anyone else to be grabbing your face like that.
That's true. I mean, it could be a family member, I guess, theoretically.
True.
But it wasn't. It was him. That's cute. Okay. Let's see if you know who this guy is.
Not a clue.
Okay.
Not a clue. Very feminine facial features.
Yep.
But very masculine, like build and demeanor. Yep.
Yes, that is very true. So, can you kind of guess a little bit of his personality from this, maybe?
Not really. I can't really pick it. From this particular image, it almost looks like he's concerned or worried, but he's handing over the keys, kind of like someone's gone, I need to go, and he's gone, here. Like, I don't like what you're doing, but here, take it.
Okay. He's actually like giving the keys to Tora. He's asking him to drive him because Tora is his bodyguard and driver. Because his name's Quincy. Does that sound familiar?
I don't think Em's mentioned it at all. Maybe you have. She has.
Okay. Quincy,
not sure.
Quincess, perhaps.
Quincess.
Yep. So he's a bit of a spoiled brat, and you'll see. Well, his father is pretty significant to the story. He comes up a bit later, so I'm not going to tell you more about him. But he's pretty spoiled. Let's just say that, and he cares about his appearance, as you do see with his outfit. And yeah, one of the interesting things. So you said his feminine face. Yeah. So he's a softie, big softie. But apparently he does work out because we do see later he is reasonably strong. Okay. And who is this guy in the blue hair?
He looks like another Yakuza member, but I don't know the name.
Yep, you're correct. His name is Goliath.
Goliath.
Okay, so Goliath is actually, he's Tora's childhood, probably friend, possibly family. And he has actually betrayed Tora to the police recently. And in the first episode opens up with Goliath reaching out to Tora after not talking to him since he got out of jail or something, and asking him to help him, that people are running after him and threatening his life. And then Tora shows up. Poppy happens to be in that area. He can't find Goliath, but he finds Poppy and follows her, and that's how the story starts.
Oh.
Yeah. So we don't know what happened to Goliath. We're assuming he'll pop back in the story later.
As like a surprise key feature, like kind of pulling the strings character.
Yeah, there's a whole bunch of theories. He's from the opposing clan. Maybe he's helping, maybe he and Tora are going to work together to take the clan down. It's like, we don't know what will happen, but it should be exciting. Okay. Who's this fella?
It's very, that's way different than the art from the rest of them, isn't it?
Yeah, Lily has apparently a lot of comics, like they have like the serious mode, and then when it's trying to be comedic, it goes into this.
No idea who this character is. That's very,
Okay.
it's
What
cute.
can you guess? Any guesses about who he is, what kind of person he is, what role he plays?
Does he know Poppy?
Nope.
No.
Well, he knows of her at this point, but that's
Okay.
not how he features in the story.
All right. No, I've got no idea then. He looks like just a convenience store operator.
Yes, so he works at like a billion restaurants. That's kind of the running joke of Midnight Poppyland. He pops up in every single restaurant, deli, cafe. So his name is 𝗪𝗪, and he is Tora's friend. Believe it or not, Tora has like 2 friends. Quincy was the first one, and this guy 𝗪𝗪 is the second one. And he's also in the clan. He's just a low-level clan member, and he is like the tech guy for the clan. But he's a real sweetheart. Like he's, you know, a very like beta kind of personality. I don't know how he got mixed up in the clan, honestly, but he's just a really nice guy. Okay, who's this guy? You might be able to guess from the way he's dressed. And
Quincy's dad?
yes.
Okay.
Did you guess that because he looks like Quincy?
I was going off, no, it's you said that Quincy was quite loaded, VIP status, and this man's wearing like a suit that's very obviously tailored and stylized. It's got like the, what's the name of the fabric that I always like getting on my suits? That's fancy. No, starts with P though.
Oh, Paisley.
Paisley. It's like a very Paisley-esque suit. He's got the ascot, like diamond ring, and his hair's slicked back.
Yep.
He's not just some guy you see on the side of the road.
So who do you think he is?
Is he the man that's hiring Tora?
Okay, pretty close. You do see that Tora has like blood on his hands.
Yeah.
So, okay, so if Tora is in a clan, who might he be?
Is he like the clan leader, the head?
Yep, that's correct. He is the clan leader, clan boss, Vincent 𝗏𝗏, the head of the 𝗏𝗏 organization.
Right.
Yeah, and he's a real sicko. He apparently basically like kidnapped Tora off the streets when he was around 5 or 6, and has been training him ever since. Abused him, definitely. We kind of get a hint of it. Lily's not too into showing like direct childhood abuse, but like basically he was pretty nasty to him as a kid, to train him to be like this heartless monster.
Right.
He's not
the perfect soldier.
What?
Yeah. They're like the perfect soldier.
Yeah, exactly. But of course, Tora has a heart, and that's the whole point of the story, is to see how he'll get out and fall in love with Poppy, etc., etc. So what makes us all love him. Tough on the outside, but sweet on the inside. Okay, so who's this lady?
I don't know. That
Took you by surprise.
Yeah, that did take me by surprise. Is it Poppy's mum? No.
Okay. It is not Poppy's mom, and actually, I'm going to ask you about Poppy's mom right after this.
Oh, okay.
After this set of pictures, but it is not Poppy's mom.
Okay. It looks like she's behind the counter, but I can't tell if it's like a kitchen counter or I think it's a restaurant counter actually.
Yep, you're correct.
Does she own a bar?
She owns a restaurant. Very good.
She owns a restaurant.
Yep.
Is she the one that employs Tora's friend?
Yeah. Okay. That's a good guess. She does not employ 𝗪𝗪 as far as we know. Although I will say that does feature in some fan fictions. I read a lot of the fan fictions, and in at least one of them, Alice Her name's Alice. So Alice's restaurant does employ Gayu, but not in the comic as of yet. So
Is
she
it one of
actually
the
used
fronts?
to employ Tora when he was a teenager.
Oh, okay.
So can you kind of guess what kind of relationship they might have, or what kind of role she might play in his life?
Maybe she's the one who's like taught him like morals.
Yeah, very good. She is
Yeah.
definitely like, she was a caring figure in his life.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not sure. She's kind of like the tough love kind of grandma person. So
Seems it.
yeah. So she probably did teach him morals, but more like through example, or, you know, not like directly sitting him down and saying like, okay, you got to do this, got to do that.
Yeah.
But yeah, she definitely is a source of normalcy in his life. And he actually brings Poppy to her restaurant.
Ah.
Yeah. So it's like pretty big, you know, to share that part of his life with her. Okay, who's this guy?
Chief of one of the police officers, maybe someone they know within the force. He doesn't look like a higher up though.
So yes, he is a police officer. And do you actually recognize the setting? Does it look a little familiar?
It looks like the restaurant.
Yep.
So is he a usual that comes into Alice's restaurant?
It's a good guess. He's a usual, but he's the usual because he's her son.
Oh, that's Alice's son. Okay.
Yeah. But here's the tragic part is he was apparently in a clan when he was younger.
Yep.
Somehow he got out to enough to become a police officer, but it seems that he was killed. You see that he has provided like mentorship to Tora, like teenage Tora, but
Yep.
now Tora wears his ring and bracelet, which does seem to be that he's dead.
Yep.
And my personal theory is that I think Tora had to kill him.
Oh.
There's like this part where Gayu is thanking Tora for what he did for him, and he's like they're both very, very emotional, like they're both like near tears. And so I am just my mind automatically jumped to like Tora had to kill Joe to save his friend Gayu.
Yep.
We'll see. But it definitely seems that he's dead. And actually Tora at some point gives the ring and bracelet that he's always worn, he gives it to Poppy for safekeeping. Yeah. There's
That's
like
rough.
Yes, it's like he gives it to her kind of as a birthday present, but also to show how much she means to him, and also because there's a clan war brewing, and he thinks he's not going to get out alive, so he wants to pass that on.
Oh.
Yeah, tragic. But of course, this isn't romance, so it's all going to end happily ever after, so we don't have to worry about that.
Hope so.
Yeah, just maybe some of the side characters will get killed, like in Harry Potter, but I don't know. Hopefully not. We'll see. Okay, so who's this purple-haired young chick?
Tora's sister? Tora's sister. Poppy's sister?
Nope. Poppy doesn't
Just
have
best
sisters.
friend? Poppy's best friend?
Yeah, she's a friend. Yeah,
Okay.
so her name is Erdine, and she's Poppy's coworker. Can you give me any kind of guesses as to what kind of person she might be?
Very laid back kind of party girl. She looks very like contrasting to Poppy. So like Poppy seems more withdrawn. Did you say it was Erdine?
Yeah.
She seems very outgoing.
Yep, you're correct. She definitely is. She's outgoing, she's brash, she's bold, and she definitely encourages Poppy to get out of her shell, and she supports her a lot emotionally. Yeah, pretty good. Okay, and who's this dude?
I don't even know how do you tell? That's the most like he's what?
Generic.
Yeah, he's very like generic NPC kind of guy, like in the background.
Yeah, I think you're giving a pretty good description of his personality, actually. So, his name is Jacob, and he's another coworker. And yeah, I would say he's generic NPC, but in a good way. Like he's this just nice guy, a little clueless sometimes. Accidentally comments about her weight in a way, and like the whole fandom's like, "Oh my God, Jacob, how could you?" But I think he's just a cute little guy, just innocent, means well, but sometimes puts his foot in his mouth.
Yeah, I know that a little too much.
Yeah. Okay, and this guy. You might recognize the setting actually as well from the last picture. I'll just give you a hint.
Their boss?
Yeah, he's their boss.
Okay.
Now, can you tell anything by the way the scene is lit about how at least he's portrayed right here?
He seems like, just because they haven't, like, the author hasn't drawn in the face or the eyes or the details, kind of makes it seem like he kind of goes off without saying anything. Like, he's very quiet. He just goes about his business and keeps everything else to himself.
Okay, so it's kind of like a feature of this particular scene. So normally he does interact, but in this particular scene, yes, he is kind of being quiet because he is currently doing something pretty shady. So basically, remember when Poppy got mixed up with Goliath? She was in the place where like Tora went to find Goliath. So she actually accidentally found, she didn't realize she found it. She found a notebook of Goliath's. And this notebook has information about like shady dealings that Ňaren City, which is Ňaren is the country, that their politicians and their business leaders have done with the mafia. Goliath apparently kept track of this and has like dirt on them. And everyone's trying to find the notebook. And Tora is also trying to find it. Poppy doesn't appear to know where the notebook is, but she apparently brought it to her office, and looks like Gil found it. And at this point, this is right after he was like testing Poppy to kind of see if she knew about the notebook, which is where we see that it doesn't seem like she knew about it. She just picked up a bunch of her papers that fell down and picked up the notebook as well. But now it looks like Gil has it, and we're in suspense as to what will happen next. Yeah, so we're not sure. Like, a lot of people are like, okay, Gil's shady, something wrong with Gil. But then there's very possible that he's just like, why in the world does my new employee have this very
protecting her? Like, you don't know what this is, do you? And she's like, no. Okay, like, good. You're not involved in this. We need to keep you out of this. Right.
So you know, there's so much wild speculation about Gil. I mean, like, we could. You know, people like, maybe he's whatever. I'm gonna save it because I have a question afterwards that relates to this. But yeah, there's a lot of theories about him. Okay, who's this?
Is she she looks like a detective.
Wow, very good. That's exactly what she is. Okay, her name is Lane. You ever heard the name Lane?
A few times, but not for anything like this.
Okay, so Lane is a detective. She works in the Ňaren City Police, and this is actually, Poppy went to see her right after she first met Tora, because Tora, in order to identify Poppy, needed a picture of her. So he took a picture of her, but unfortunately at that her shirt was ripped because she fell down from her scooter, etc., etc. So like, it was a picture with like her chest exposed. So she got like really freaked out, and she goes to the police to report it, and she meets Lane. Now, Lane apparently has a connection to Tora. Tora, right afterwards, because he's a gentleman, threw her his sweatshirt and then like disappeared. But he gave her a sweatshirt so that she would be able to cover herself up. And Lane identifies this sweatshirt as belonging to Tora. And she realizes that like Poppy accidentally met with, you know, a guy from a clan. And she also apparently gives Tora a phone call later. So we don't know what her connection is with Tora. It's possible maybe she's like his parole officer. But yeah, but she does give Tora a call. So we're very curious to see how that direction develops. Okay, and who is this gentleman?
Poppy's dad?
He's not Poppy's dad. Nope.
Not sure. The only other old person I've seen was Alice, but she doesn't look like the kind of person to have an old man kind of weighing her down.
I think you're right. I definitely think you're right. I don't think Alice would be with the guy. And I also think he's a little too, just from like his appearance, he looks too conservative to be with her.
He does.
Not with like the smoking bathrobe boa wearing Alice. So his name is Mr. Lamb. Have you heard the name Mr. Lamb?
No.
Okay, so Mr. Lamb is a very wealthy guy who is trying to make up to the memory of his dead wife, who was a writer, he never encouraged her writing during her life. And now that she's gone, he regrets that and he wishes he would have been more supportive. So he's trying to publish her manuscript, which he wanted edited by a particular writer. Now, this writer, turns out, is 𝗙𝗃. 𝗙𝗃 is a romance writer. He writes erotic fiction, and which is this kind of a joke to that in a second. But he wanted, so Mr. Lamb is trying to get 𝗙𝗃, who operates under a pen name because he doesn't want everyone to know that he's the son of the clan leader. He wants him to edit his wife's manuscript. Now, 𝗙𝗃, you know, was apparently not reachable through his publisher. Anyway, Poppy is trying to get him to sign on with her publishing house. She works for a publishing house. So she's been meeting with Mr. Lamb. There's a whole like drama with him. And she ends up actually succeeding and getting 𝗙𝗃, who she met sort of through Torah, not exactly. And she succeeds in getting him to work with Mr. Lamb. Now, this is actually what Torah has been trying to avoid. Like in terms of the plot, Torah told her goodbye. He said, I can't see you anymore. I have to, you know, basically my job is dangerous. Kind of like hints, my job is dangerous. I can't see you anymore. And Poppy is upset, but like understands at the same time. She like, you know, she's a little relieved. But then the next day, she meets up with 𝗙𝗃 to get him to, you know, to talk to him about working with Mr. Lamb. And 𝗙𝗃 is a bit of a meddling like busybody, and he's like, oh, I think she's the girl. I think Torah's into her. He realizes that Torah's into her, so he invites Torah as well. And Torah is really upset that they're going to have any connection because he doesn't want Poppy to be endangered by working with `𝗙𝗃, who's the son of the clan leader. So it's a whole argument that ensues, and then they make up and whatever. It's very nice. But anyway, so that's Mr. Lamb. Okay, and who's this person?
Okay, so this one I'm guessing is Poppy's father.
Yeah, you're correct.
Is this a reminiscent, like a reminiscent kind of photo where she's looking back?
Yeah, it's a flashback.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's actually really sweet. So you see these rice balls over here?
Yep.
So her dad would make her like these animal rice balls whenever she was feeling upset, and Poppy actually makes Torah a rice ball when he first comes to our house for dinner.
Oh.
Yeah. And then there's also this tiger butterfly. So you see here, it goes in the scene, it goes from the flashback, and then it like kind of like flies to the present time and it lands on Torah's shoulder. So it's like this implication, that like now her dad is gone, her dad is not alive anymore. That now instead of her dad taking care of her, it'll be Torah taking care of her.
Oh,
yeah,
that touches my heart, man.
Yeah, it was very emotional. I mean, that whole scene, like she talks about her dad and how she's trying to make her dad proud of her, and a lot of people who had lost their parents, like a lot of people commented about how emotional it made them and how they were crying. And I'm fortunate enough to have both my parents. I'm actually in my parents' house right now.
Me too.
But yeah, like a lot of people really touched them, that whole scene.
Yeah.
Okay, who is this person?
No idea. He seems very... Does he have a lot of money?
Probably.
Okay. Is he a rival gang member?
That is a good question. We don't know.
I like his hair.
Yes. So 𝗏𝗏 is actually like a gender non-conforming person, like biologically female. So we do call her she. But yeah, so 𝗏𝗏, I mean, a lot of us, we're like, is this a man? Is this a woman? So she's actually modeled after Rain, which I didn't know until Lily mentioned it. So I had to go look this person up. But anyway, so 𝗏𝗏 is, we don't know much about 𝗏𝗏 yet, but we suspect, you said she's like a rival clan member. She does have that antagonistic attitude for sure. And she is kind of like Quincy's like fly by the night lover, like, one night stand kind of person. But apparently like Quincy seems more into her than she's into him. They seem to see each other every so often, but they're not in a relationship. And she's definitely got a strong alpha side to her, and we don't know much about her. She seems to be in some shady business as well, but we don't know yet.
Seems very, just from the photo, she seems very inquisitive. And whenever I've seen characters like that in other stories, it's always been like there's a lot going on in their head.
Yes.
And it's like they're being very sneaky and manipulative, getting what they
Oh my
want.
gosh. I think you're 100% right. I did not like Cordy when I first saw her. Basically Quincy brought her to this like double date when he was meeting Poppy. Like I mentioned before, he kind of like invited Tora without telling him Poppy was going to be there. And he invited Cordy because he wanted to spend more time with Cordy because he just likes her. And also he wanted Cordy to antagonize Tora and basically to flirt with Poppy and make Tora jealous and he kind of asked her to assess, is Tora into Poppy? So she definitely is like a very sharp-witted person and very observant, but she was like just riling Tora up the entire time. And I was like not happy about that. He's very protective of Tora at this point. Okay, who's this person?
Not sure. This one's hard for me to pick.
Okay, what guesses do you have about who she is?
Seems very red light district.
Yep, you're 100% correct. So she is actually currently in a Botyaman nightclub called Club Miracle, and she is an exotic dancer there. She's like a headliner there. I'll stick to that for now because some of it relates to Fast Pass content, I think, if I recall correctly. So I'm just gonna go back. And remember, this is already like we're up to 17 out of 21, so it's getting more obscure. So I don't expect you to be able to even pick up on who. Well, no, this one doesn't give you a lot of context, I guess. But anyway, let's see what you can do.
Who am I looking at, or both of them?
The guy. Well, this is Poppy, actually.
Oh, that's Poppy.
Yeah.
Wow, the angle and coloring is so different. I wouldn't have been able to pick it.
Yep. She's also dressed in like business clothes in this one, so she looks a little bit different.
Is it someone that she works with as well? No. Another gang member?
He's probably not a gang member, but you're right that he is shady-ish.
Yeah.
So this is if you could tell by like the tone. So you know how the previous picture there was it was like red and blue. So this is actually right outside that nightclub, Club Miracle. It's on 𝗟𝗚 Street. 𝗟𝗚 Street is like the gang controlled like shady area of town. And this is a kid, he's a teenager. Yeah, he seems to be in some kind of desperate situation. We're not quite sure. I don't think he's in a clan yet, possibly, but because he's young, but he's definitely not in a good place in his life.
Yeah.
Let's just say that. She actually asks him she passes him money to pass a message to Mr. Lamb to get him out of the club, which is where he's been taken, which actually I'll get into in a sec.
Okay.
Okay, who's this guy? And that's Tora, by the way. Can't tell.
Yeah. He's got very similar eyes to Tora. I'm not too sure.
Yeah, you know, he kind of does look like he has golden eyes in this one, but he's not related to Tora. So
okay. Not too sure. Is it someone that is associated within the gang?
Yeah, 100%. He's another gang member. His name is Claude. And he's kind of frustrated with Tora's, standing in the clan. He feels that, Tora gets a lot of respect that he doesn't deserve. He's like a little jealous of him. He actually, in this scene, he starts up with Tora afterwards, and Tora like creams him easily. So it's just like a demonstration of Tora's physical prowess, despite Claude apparently being an MMA fighter. But it's, it's kind of meant to show like how powerful physically Tora is. Tora's really, really good at intimidation. So he's like very psychologically, can be manipulative when he wants to be. And who's this guy?
Is he the owner of the club?
Good guess. He's not the owner of the club, but he actually is in the club in this scene.
Yep.
You might look at it. Do you know what this symbol is on his neck?
I don't, but it does look gang related.
Yeah. I want to see, is it on this side? No, you can't see it. But Can you see it over here a bit?
Oh,
you see
yep.
Tora has the same one.
Yep. So
that
it's,
is
it's like the clan symbol.
That's right. It's the 𝗏𝗏𝗱 clan symbol. And so he's another clan member. Do you recognize who this is in the corner?
That's Mr. Lamb.
Yeah, that's Mr. Lamb.
Yep.
So basically, Claude has kind of sort of bought Mr. Lamb here, and he intends, this is the in-club miracle, he intends on killing him.
Right.
And I'm not quite clear why, honestly. Like, he is very rich, but I don't even know if he stands to gain financially. His name is Sharsh. He's portrayed to be like just a psychopath who enjoys killing people just for the fun of it. So, yeah, so Poppy actually rescues him.
Yep.
By sending that kid Benjamin in.
Oh.
Okay, second to last one. This one is, even a lot of regular fans may not get this guy.
Very intimidating presence. It's almost like military.
Yes.
It still seems like maybe like a gang enforcer of some description, but very like don't mess with that kind of person.
Yeah, I think so too. We don't know too much about his personality, honestly, and that's why he's all the way at the end. His name is 𝗙𝗵𝗲, and I kind of put him here because he only appears in like 2 scenes very briefly. Yep. We don't know much about his personality. I think he's funny because a lot of people have read into his personality, and like there's actually like there's one fan fiction by 𝗪cie 𝗪𝗪 all about him, and then there are other people who have independently arrived at the same conclusion of his personality, which surprises me because I don't think we know much. But then when I think about it, I actually do have in my mind like also like what he is, the kind of person he is. So it's just one of those characters where like most people just like skip over him, but then some people just fixate and they're like, I love 𝗙𝗵𝗲. He must be like, he's stoic, he's strong, he's you know, more neutral to clan activities. Like, so I'm a little, I think we kind of invent a little bit of his personality, but anyway. And this is Claude over there.
Yeah.
I am kind of hoping for more 𝗙𝗵𝗲. I'm curious to see if our guesses are valid. Okay, and the last one.
Is this the nightclub owner?
He's not a nightclub owner, but he does have some relation, but not in the cartoon. Now, why did I put this guy here? So this guy appears in the cartoon. He appears as somebody whose car Tora jacked. His name is 𝗍𝗍𝗄. And Tora jacked his car because he needed a car and he didn't want to take his own car to Poppy's house because he doesn't want to, you know, draw attention to her. But he actually, Tora is very nice. He returns the car and then he gives him money to pay all the like the parking tickets and the bills that he finds like in the car. So Tora's a sweetie. Just saying. He stole his car, but he did give him money back. So, but the reason I put him in and the reason that a lot of people find him funny is because on the Patreon tier, he appears in one of the Not Safe for Work cartoons. So I'm not going to tell you more because that's Patreon content, but it's really funny. So, yeah. Okay, so we're done with the pictures, but there's one more picture I want to show you, and it's also kind of an inside joke. So which I'll explain to you afterwards. So this is a comic put by 𝗪𝗯, and I'll tell you more about it in a second, but which of these do you think Poppy's mom is?
Looks like the old lady with the cookies.
Where's the old lady with the cookies? I'm like not seeing. Oh, this one. Okay, so you're guessing her?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's actually Poppy's landlord, Hari. Lady Hari, I think her name is. So okay, so the reason this is here. So Poppy's mom suspects. 𝗪𝗯 makes funny memes, Midnight Poppyland memes. She's actually hilarious, so you should all follow her. But basically, Poppy's mom appears in like one picture that we see on Poppy's desk, and we know that she seems to be like a deadbeat mom. She apparently left Poppy at some point when she was young, because we don't see her. We see Poppy with her dad a lot, but we don't see her with her mom. And Poppy says, you know, "Oh, Mom, I hope wherever you are, you're okay now." So from that, we have all these theories about Poppy's mom. Is she part of a clan? Did she have to leave Poppy and her dad because of that? And then basically the fandom's like, is this Poppy's mom? Is this Poppy's mom? Is this Poppy's mom? So it's like most of these characters are like literally people on the street that like Poppy passes by, like totally inconsequential. So that's why this meme is hilarious. Like this is Candy, the the stripper. Yep. This is Lane, the police officer. That's Cordelia. That is Mr. Baltman's like current side thing, side piece. Yep. These are two chicks who are into Torah. This is, I think, the most likely suspect. If you remember, she was the one next to Goliath. So all of us, this picture only appears once. And it's, we thought it was just introducing us to Goliath, right? He's a gambler. But
they gave details to her.
Yes, exactly. She's the only one who has a face. But we only realized that like 30 episodes later, because that, that's when we see the picture of Poppy's mom, and then you remember her.
Yeah.
She kind of looks like her because she also has that like resting bitch face. All right. So anyway, so there's a whole bunch of theories about Poppy's mom, but like literally everyone else, this is the waitress in one of the restaurants, I think. Literally everyone else is just like someone on the street.
Yeah.
Oh, this is her Poppy security guard, Trevor, was messing around with this lady at work. So, but everyone else is just passerbys. Okay. So, and this one is someone who was with Poppy's dad when she died. So it looks like an aunt or something. I think it's an aunt. Probably not the mom. Okay, so we're done with that part. Good job. I think you did good about guessing, from context clues and the drawings, what kind of person they were. Okay, so now I'm going to ask you 7 words, about 7 words, and let's see if you know how they are related to Midnight Poppyland. Okay, the first one is tiger.
The butterfly.
Okay. Good. So actually, right, I did tell you that the butterfly was a tiger butterfly. Do you know why it would be a tiger butterfly?
Is it because of the stripes? So is it part of like the tattoo?
Nope.
No.
Okay, so Tora's name. Do you know what it means in Japanese?
I'm assuming tiger.
Yeah. So yeah, he's known as the Tiger of 𝗟𝗏. He has a giant tiger tattoo on his thigh. The entire fandom is very excited when they see the tattoo. They're always like, how high up does that go? And then, sorry, I see you're like cringing. This is a very, very thirsty. I've learned the word
That's very serious.
What?
This is very serious.
Yes. That's why I asked if you were jealous of Tora, because a lot of people lust after Tora. So,
fair.
But luckily in his defense, he's not real. So, yeah. Yes, and then he also has like Tora on his tattooed on his back, like in kanji letters.
Yep.
Yeah, so that's Tora. Okay. Next word, strawberries.
No, I can't pick that one.
Okay, so strawberries. Gosh, Tora is very into strawberries and strawberry juice that we see now in the present. Now there's a kind of in the picture with Poppy when she's with her dad, she's drinking strawberry juice as well.
Yep.
And there's this picture where we see like a teenage Tora helping this little girl in the background while like his friends are in the foreground. It seems as though that might be Poppy. And I think she's drinking strawberry juice in that picture also. So it's possible that Tora met Poppy when they were both younger and they don't recognize each other, but that Tora got into strawberry juice back then because of her.
Right.
That's our theory. But yeah, and then Poppy also has a strawberry hair tie and she gives it to Tora and it's really sweet. And it's kind of like now he keeps that as a memento to comfort him instead of the ring and the bracelet. He keeps that. That is like a touching memento for him that he touches whenever he feels like anxious. It's right, sweet. Yeah. Okay, the next one, avocado.
Avocado. No, it's maybe something to do with Alice.
Nope.
No.
So yeah, it's definitely it's a very specific detail. So it's the funny thing is like this is something that has become like very emblematic for like Midnight Poppyland fans, and that like especially on the Facebook groups, anytime anyone sees like the symbol, we like talk about it, but it's really a very small part of Midnight Poppyland. Basically, it's Poppy's avatar on her messaging when she messages people. That's her picture. It's a picture of a hula hooping cartoon avocado. So yeah, and I think it's pretty popular these days because like you see it like when people go to Target or Walmart, it's like it's on T-shirts, it's on like pencil cases,
Oh.
it's on, like folders. So must be one of those popular things. But anyway, and also when she looks up, Poppy Googles the Ball Even organization,
Yep.
and you'll see from her browsing history that she was looking up the avocado advocates. Apparently, there's like a group like Save the Avocados. Yeah. So it's like it's also showing how like innocent and childlike Poppy is, and especially in contrast to Tora. You know, Tora is this big, tough, aggressive guy in the dangerous world, and she wears like she has a unicorn phone. She wears like magic T-shirts, and you know she's very
innocent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. All her notebooks. Like she doesn't have black notebooks, which is like the Goliath notebook. She has like like rainbow notebooks. You know. Okay. Next word, hamster.
Hamster? Does Poppy have a hamster?
Nope, but it is related to Poppy.
No. Is it something the author has done to show Poppy alongside Tora as like the hamster and the tiger?
Yeah, that's pretty good. Tora calls her a little cute hamster, and he keeps like pinching her cheeks. He's like, yeah, he's such a cute little hamster. So yeah, he calls her hamster. It's his nickname. And like, yeah, there's definitely 𝗪𝗲𝗍 𝗪𝗲, I think her name is. She made this adorable cartoon with like, you know, Tora as a tiger and Poppy as a hamster. It's really cute.
That's awesome.
Instagram as well. So she put that up there. Actually, I'll show it to you if you want to.
Yeah.
It's really cute. Yeah, there's a lot of people who make Midnight Poppyland fan art. So yeah, she makes a ton. Most of this is Midnight Poppyland. There we go. So it's a recreation of a previously existing cartoon. Let's see. She's eating a strawberry here. And she boops him.
It's not coming up for me.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I actually forgot to turn my phone. Sorry.
It's all good. It's all good.
Okay. So, hamster,
Em
tiger.
just did the.
Yeah. She's eating a strawberry here. And he has golden eyes, which is Tora's very striking golden eyes.
She's loving it. It's so cute.
Yeah.
Oh.
I know. Adorable. By the way, hi Emily. I didn't say hi to you. You'll feel free to say hi.
Hi.
Hello. Thanks so much for getting Antonio to go on.
She said thanks so much for getting Antonio to come on.
You're very welcome. He took
Yeah,
a lot
I forgot
of
that you
convincing.
can't hear, but
She said she forgot that you can't hear, but
Oh, yeah.
she said thank you.
awesome. I hope you're having fun. We have like a couple of questions left, but I hope you're enjoying it.
It's been good. It's been good.
Okay. So anyway, so that was the hamster. Okay. Next one, red pin.
Red pin.
Red.
Is that like a target?
Oh, that's good.
Nope, not a target, but it kind of could make whoever's wearing it a target, possibly.
Okay. Is it something given by Tora to someone else or from? No, I'm not too sure.
Okay, so this red pin is something that Poppy wears when she goes to Club Miracle, and Lily is very intentional with her art in that she highlights certain things, and then you can tell that like we're meant to pay attention to it. So she does highlight the red pin, and it's very reminiscent. The shape of it is very reminiscent to the Ball Even logo. So. And then later we see she actually has it when she goes to Club Miracle, and then Benjamin ends up getting injured, the teenager, and then she takes it off, and he actually stole the pin. Anyway, she then is looking for it. She's like, okay, it's very special to me. Where is it? I'm trying to find it. So we think that maybe Poppy's mom left it for her, and it's like a symbol of a rival clan. So it would be like, draw her as a target, but I'll find out. Okay, jackfruit.
Jackfruit. I can't even imagine what a jackfruit looks like, to be honest. It's escaped me.
Yeah, it's like this giant fruit, and it's like orange and has a lot of black seeds inside.
Okay. Kind of like a pawpaw or a papaya.
Yeah. Oh wait, am I mixing it up with a papaya? Hold on. Now I want to Google this. I may be inaccurately describing it.
They look like bumpy pears.
Oh, hold on. Okay, so you know what? I think I was describing it. Oh, yeah. Whoops. I was describing a papaya. You're right. Sorry. It's not. Okay.
Yeah,
Well,
we don't have those here. No, they look very weird. No, I don't know what that's connected to.
Okay, so a jackfruit, basically, remember Tora threw Poppy his sweatshirt, like way back in the first episode, right, to help her cover up.
Yep.
And that day, so Poppy was wearing his sweatshirt, and she walks around, she's like, something smells really good. And she's like, what smells good? I can't tell what it is. And then she sniffs the sweatshirt, and she realizes it's a sweatshirt. She's like, oh, this smells really good. And then she like blushes beet red because she realizes like she basically like sniffing Tora.
Yeah.
And she's a very like blushy kind of person. She's very like innocent and naive. So anyway, later on in the episode, later on in the story, she meets up with Tora, and she's sniffing like a fake tree, and Tora's like, that's fake. And she's like, yeah, I know, I have a sense of smell. She's like, I can smell that it's fake. I just was pretending. She's like, I can smell it just like I could smell your jack. And then she kind of gets embarrassed and doesn't want to finish admitting she was smelling his jacket. So she's like, Your jackfruit. So that Tora just makes fun of her afterwards. And we all we just associate jackfruit with like Tora's sexuality and overcoming presence. Okay, and the last word association or phrase is gray sweatpants.
I associate that with staying at home and doing nothing, but I don't know what it means for the show, for this story, sorry.
Yeah. So, so Tora is staying at home. Tora is wearing these gray sweatpants. He wears it once when he works out. Or no, I think that was black sweatpants. And then he wears these gray sweatpants when he is sick, and he Poppy comes to his apartment to help take care of him. And the reason that the fandom finds this very funny is apparently it's this whole cultural meme where I would advise write like gray sweatpants meme. And you know what? I'm just going to share my screen to show you. It's a little entertaining. But basically, given what I told you about how the fandom relates to Tora and their lustful attitude, you might get why people think this is very interesting. Sorry, what's gray sweatpants? Okay.
Yeah, the gym culture.
Yeah, and it's like it's a horny reference to sundresses and basically people are like, that gray sweatpants are a way to see more of your man. So people are
of course.
Tora.
I remember like a few years ago, it was the sweatpants were the stay-at-home pants. Yeah. And now it's like standard gym cultures to go. Like I've got a pair of like gym pants that I use, and even like during these COVID times, they are my house pants. Yeah. They are my stay-at-home pants.
Right. My husband, as soon as he gets home, as soon as he can, he takes a shower and he gets into his sweatpants as well. So yeah, he has two pairs, and that's his at-home pants. Okay, so those were all my questions for that. And then I just have the last question, which is, can be a bit more serious question is how did 𝗙𝗵𝗱𝗆 change yours and Emily's lives?
She's really started pushing me to get tattoos.
Really?
I was always looking at this very particular style that I like, and it's very like Yakuza traditional art. And Em was like, I want you to get those. I want you to get tattoos. And I was like, I want to get them. I do. But it's like, I got to put away the time and the money to kind of get the tattoos.
How much does it cost, and how long does it take to apply?
What was that?
How much does it cost, and how long does it take to put them on?
Here, roughly, like the tattoo that I would want would take up the entirety of my maybe my upper right arm, and would maybe be close to $400 Australian, which is a lot. And as much as I would love to get this particular tattoo, it would also be, because it would be in color as well, it would be roughly a week, 2 weeks. How long does it take to get color put in, roughly? You get your tattoo and then...
They normally get the outline done first, which takes
Couple
one
hours.
session. Yeah, a couple hours, and then they do the color and the infill a few weeks later.
Yeah, so it would be, I'd go in, get the outlines done, but then it would be another week or two before I could go in and get all the color and fill. And it's a lot of, it's time and money that I would happily spend, but I got to work out when I want to actually do it.
Okay. That's a really funny side effect of 𝗏𝗹𝗱𝗏. I don't, I'm Jewish, like really Orthodox Jewish, and like we don't get tattoos, but definitely I found tattoos more interesting after this cartoon.
Yeah, that's fair.
Although my husband actually converted to Judaism, so theoretically he could have gotten tattoos before, but he's not a tattoo kind of guy.
How does it, don't mind me asking, how did, like, to go to Judaism with tattoos, is it still an okay thing to convert and have them?
Yeah, I mean,
Okay.
you know, some people, I guess, could get their tattoos removed, but it's not necessary, you know.
Yeah.
It's just a preference thing. You know,
fair.
what you did in the past is, you know, out of your control, like it's done.
Yep. For my family, tattoos are very, like, it's about marking a momentous occasion. So my dad has a big tattoo across his back and neck that goes from the base of his neck down to about the 1/3 mark of his back and then across his shoulders, and it's a crucifix with angel wings and the banner La Bella Vita, which means a beautiful life, when my mum's mum passed away, and it was in memoriam of her. So it was very special, and it's one of the most beautiful tattoos I've ever seen.
That's lovely that he did it for his mother-in-law, not even his own mom.
No.
Oh, it seems like they must have been close.
My dad ran away from home when he was young, and when he met my mum, he actually lived with my mum and her parents for a long time. So he saw them as like, for him, my mum's dad, who has also passed away, both of them were his parents. So it was very sad for him to have lost his almost adoptive mother.
It sounds like there's a really interesting story there.
Yeah.
Oh, how old was he when he like started living with your mom's parents?
Roughly 18, but he'd run away from home when I think it was 14.
Wow.
He went from New South Wales. He lived around with a few of his friends, and then when he was old enough to work, he went to Queensland, and he was there for a while, which is a full state up, and he was living. It's roughly a 13-hour drive from home. So.
Mm-hmm. How did he survive from like 14 to 18 before he could work?
I'm assuming he at the time mooched off his mates, but my dad's always been a worker. He's always been like, once he was told to do the job, he wouldn't stop doing the job. And he runs his own business now. He's a cement renderer. He does up houses, restores rooms and exteriors and stuff. But he's worked a lot of jobs. He's worked in a pizzeria. He's worked as an asbestos removal expert. He's done packing and machining and stuff as well. Then he did concrete, curb and gutter. And then so he's been all over. So that's what,
Oh, that's very, very cool. It's really, I mean, he clearly is like talented with, you know, construction and like his hands.
Yeah, he's always learned, whenever it comes to working, he's always learned and worked best with something that he can physically hold in front of him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I admire that a lot. I'm like, I live in my head. I find it hard to do practical things. I mean, to do like physical things. I do like DIY at home, but it's like not something I'm naturally like talented at. I have to like push myself.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Well, do you have any more thoughts you want to share about 𝗏𝗏𝗱𝗏 and like maybe how it's affected Emily or?
I just know that she's really enjoyed it. I do hope that the story plays out. I hope it, for everyone's sake, that it's not a like predictable story. I hope that it keeps you on your toes the whole time, because I find that's when you enjoy it the most. Is I love that M goes, damn it, they left me again with this. I can't believe that they would do this to me. And she gets really upset and sulky for a week until the next episode comes out. And she's like, oh, yes, I got, and you know, and then she reads it and she's like, no, they did it to me again. So I think it always makes it, the journey when it's not just handed to you is a lot more fun. And one of my favorite things in a story is I love guessing how it's going to turn out. And M gets really shitty with me for it. She's always upset with me for it because I can usually guess how a story is going to go before I finish the story. So she doesn't like me reading things alongside her.
Okay, so she doesn't want you to read Midnight Poppyland?
I don't think she would like me reading Midnight Poppyland.
Not unless you kept it to yourself.
Not unless I kept it to myself.
That is interesting. That's like, I can see why she wouldn't want you to read it and like spoil it for her, but that's like a useful skill.
I've always been pretty good at it with movies and stuff, and I can understand why it would be frustrating to sit next to me. And because I know like that person's gonna die, and it's just like, why would you do that? And just watch 5 minutes from now, and then bang, and it's like, I'm really bad for it, and I know that I'm bad for it, so I try not to do it anymore with her.
That's funny. Yeah, my husband does that too, but like, but usually we kind of co-predict, so I don't think I think we're at the same level.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's been, I mean, I feel like with Midnight Poppyland, like we do know, and this is also based on like stuff that the author has said. You know, she said like it's in the romance section. It's a romance. It's gonna have a happily ever after. You know, like they're gonna end up getting together. Like that much we know. But you know, everything until then is up in the air.
Exactly. It's about the journey. Otherwise, it's no fun if they just give you the ending.
Right. Exactly. And that's something like in terms of like, okay, so I read a lot of books about storytelling because I want to write and. You know, just like it's helpful to analyze novels and analyze movies. And,
100%.
you know, one of the big things is like, you know, some people are like, why can't they just kiss already and get together? And it's like, no, you don't want them to. You want them to have obstacles and challenges to overcome. Otherwise it isn't satisfying.
They don't get anything out of it. They got to learn. It's about the relationship and the building of trust. And it's like, for him to just steal the kiss isn't, maybe it gives you that like sexual satisfaction for that like half a second of being able to see it, but if there's this constant tension building up when it finally happens, it's satisfaction.
Yep, exactly. And that's like, I think it's just how you know, if we want to apply it to life in general, like we all want to coast through life, but it wouldn't be satisfying if it was just that easy. Oh yeah. Okay, well, thank you so much, Antonio, for meeting with me and for this delightful interview. Not a problem. It was a lot of fun. Yeah, I hope so. Yeah, it was fun. It's always really fun to see you know, what people know and see how much people can guess, and it's cute. It's really fun. I've been enjoying this. I'm glad. No, thank you for having me. My pleasure. So I'm probably gonna make 2 videos. I'll do one, you know, like a compilation of everybody, and then I might just post everyone's video full interview separately. So if anyone wants to watch that, they can do that as well. Because I don't think I'll be able to use everything because it'll be, you know, rather very long. No, that's fair. Yeah. Well, thank you so much. I really appreciate your taking the time. And hi, Emily, and bye, Emily, and I hope you enjoy it. Bye. Bye. See you, Mindy. Thank you. Yeah, you too. Bye-bye. Bye.